Roughly, how many plants are we looking at?
1,500.
Yeah. And are they all the same variety? Or are they
No,
different?
about 20 varieties we have.
She told me how many varieties she was growing. I was like, why make it so complicated? But then she explained it, and I understand. Say the marketplace rewards something new, something different. People will try something different.
And it's even deeper than that. It's like a guy that I have that comes in every month when he gets his checks from the government. His PTSD from being in the military, there's only one variety that seems to cause him to be totally relaxed, and he hasn't been able to find that with other varieties.
I'm curious, what strain are we referring to here?
That happens to be Snow G.
Snow G.
Yeah, amazing when we were growing it this year because of that demand. Beautiful plant, very heavy rosin producer, very dense, really juicy buds. So, you know, everybody's different. It's like GMO is my favorite. This is a triploid. This is a new version, brand new genetics, where this is a seedless version of GMO, which is garlic, mushrooms, and onions, which is my favorite. And this is a triploid version. So this will be seedless. And what that means is that when they get it to be seedless, it's a recessive trait that no longer has the ability to produce any seeds, even if there was a male to pollinate it.
Sativa indica.
More in the sativa lining. You can almost tell by the leaves. See, the leaves are kind of thin and long. Mm-hmm. And when you get into more of the indicas, they tend to be wider, fatter, and yeah. And that gives you a little bit of an indication.
Know your marijuana plant.
Now, they also tend to call this a 90% type indica plant, but I can tell you that I get energy from this plant, and everybody that I know that uses it tends to get energy. So,
so more of an upper than a downer, more of a sativa than an indica.
And the other thing is this, is that it has to do too with the grower. If you're harvesting a little bit earlier, based upon the ripeness of the flower, you will have more CBG, which will be more energy focused, will give you more ability to have anandamide in your system, which is the bliss hormone we feel when we're in love and we're very grateful. So it's a very uplifting and energetic, whereas if we let it sit longer in the field, then the THC will degrade into CBN, and it will make you'll have a lazy mind, I call it. It's like when THC kind of creates that creativity and you feel sparked to go do something, CBN says, yeah, that's cool, but I don't feel like doing it now.
Maybe I should watch TV for a while.
Yeah, so what we did this year, which was really cool, is that we made a whole different diagram where instead of just having rows, we've got 3 different triangles going in different directions. And what it does is it makes it more efficient to get to any point in the whole field. So this way we can, and also when we're working out here, it just changes the whole feel. You're not working down just one endless row and then going to the next endless row. These rows keep getting shorter, and these keep getting shorter.
During the plant's life cycle, how much physical attention do they need from a human being?
Oh gosh, we're out here. Each plant, so like all these leaves these are what septoria it's called. So we've got a little bit of ground exposed in between. We're going to cover that because what happens is when the rain comes down, it splashes and you can get that bacteria to splash up here, and then it takes residency on here, and we don't want that. So we take all the infected leaves off, and then what we're going to do is cover that area. I've got fabric coming in to cover that. Now because of the rain, we're going to have to pump out our aisles because we got so much rain again. We probably got another inch of rain last night. We've got 1,100 feet of underground piping in here that goes into a big sump hole with an electric pump to drain it down from the bottom. And then when we get excess on top, we don't even want to wait for it to go down. We want to relieve that pressure right away because these roots got to breathe. They don't like to be in water. Especially this year has been very challenging because of the amount of rain. The ground can only take so much. The roots aren't able to uptake nutrients as well. So then we have to go to foliar feeding, where we're giving any kind of nutrients that we want direct to the leaves.
What feeding?
Foliar. So the leaf surface, instead we can bring nutrients into the plant through the leaves as opposed to going through the roots all the time. If you see these plants over here, these were planted before this other whole triangle over here. And this triangle, because you see that wooded area? All right, so these plants use mycelium which is a fungus to be able to get nutrients from the soil, communicate with other plants. That's how trees work. Well, that's how cannabis works too. And
oh, you know, mycelium. I mean, the biggest organism on earth is a mycelium.
exactly. So over here, because of this, look at how these plants are so much taller. And these were planted, these plants are only 4 weeks in the ground. That's it. And it just exploded. And as we get closer to the mycelium, look at how they just keep getting
4
taller
weeks
and
in the
taller.
ground when they were first planted.
That tall. Like 8
Okay.
inches. That's it. 4 weeks ago. What's beautiful is that when you do an outdoor grow, you get an expression. This is called permanent marker. Look at that. All the regular plants are normal, but you get a recessive gene that expresses itself like this.
So the difference is, well, this one's got purple stems, and the other ones have green stems.
And look at how the leaves look totally different. Like they're kind of like a shaggy dog look, I call
So
them.
this is like
So what we're
a
going to
fluke?
do
This
is
is a fluke?
we're going to clone it.
the Hana.
We take a cutting off of this,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can keep that alive with over 12 hours of sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
And we can let this thing flower out so we can see what it produces. And if it produces something really magnificent,
Mm-hmm.
then we've got a clone of it.
There you go.
And, we've
And
got
you might
another
even
one
have an
just like that
original.
down.
So does it just work that way? Sometimes the universe is like, here's a
Yeah, it's
different
like-
kind of
We
marijuana.
got all these kids, and all of a sudden one of them has red hair. How'd the red hair get there? Well, it's a recessive trait. Look at another one right here.
Yep.
Same characteristic. Cool as hell. You know what else you could do is you take the stem and you rub it, and you can get an idea of what it's going to smell like, the flower afterwards.
Spicy. I like it.
Yeah. So sometimes you'll get some that won't have any odor. They don't have a lot of terps. Other ones would be really high. So
And the terps are the
the odors.
little
The volatile
crystals.
No, the terps are the VOCs, volatile organic compounds that evaporate. Every
Mhm.
time you're smelling them, that means they're evaporating and they're no longer on the plant. That's why we try to keep temperatures below 60 degrees so they don't evaporate off in the plant. And that's why we're always keeping containers closed and wrapped so that that hits equilibrium in there and can't take any more out of the plant. It's 2 years old that you cannot tell. It's like a fine wine because it was stored properly. Bamboo shoot.
So you're telling me this was 6 inches
It was that
tall
tall 4 weeks ago.
for
That's it.
a month ago?
Yeah. And it had to go through the transplant shock.
Well, it must be all that healthy Niagara County sunshine.
Well, part of it is that this year we did one thing different, two things different. We brought silica in. And silica is like the raw material in glass. And silica is a building block for cells in plants.
Silica is sand.
Exactly, but in a form that the plant can absorb. The first year I was growing cannabis, and this guy had this stuff called Bio 520. It was liquid silica. He says, well, I just tell you, all the guys in the hills in California, they buy this stuff from me, and they claim that their yields go through the roof. And I says, wow, it's pretty pricey, 5 gallons for $1,100. I give you 25% off. So I go and I buy two 5-gallon buckets. And I started using it. And sure enough, I noticed the difference. And then this year, we ordered a ton of the dry powder,
Mm-hmm.
and we spread this whole field full of silica. And then once we got the rains and everything started to... Like we're using liquid algae this year, because last year we tried it for the first time. They got a patented variety of algae that they got out of the Netherlands. You buy it, and you spray it on your plants. What happens is when the algae are dying, they produce some type of signaling to the plant that causes the plant to increase its output and go into high drive. I was an industrial engineer by background, and then that means efficiency. And I look at nature, and if I can understand how nature works and then bring all the raw ingredients in to make it even easier for nature to make what nature does on its own, that's the facilitation that we can do to cause this shit to happen even better than what it can do in natural. It's the same thing with human health. If we just understood the different colonies that we're supposed to be feeding and we're doing that, we wouldn't have disease. We wouldn't have mental imbalance.
From your lips to God's ears.
He taught us about the microbes.
Of farmers as a group, they tend to be some of the most pragmatic, stoic people I know, because you have to be, because you can do everything right. And then Mother Nature comes along and throws you a little wild card.
It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like a challenge, you know?
And one of the only comforts is that everyone else in the same boat with you.
And you kind of see people that are worse off, and it makes you feel a little better.
Well, I
You
mean,
look at Indiana, and they got 15 inches of rain, and it's like, oh my God, 3 inches, 7 inches is no big deal. This is going to be so amazing. Afghani Kush.
all right.
Version 4, which means that they've gone through generations and picked the best of different fields. And then they'll take a female plant that they know is exactly what they want, like that purple one, and they'll revert that back into vegetative state. And then, when it's nice and bushy, they'll take a branch and they'll spray it with colloidal silver. The colloidal silver will stress it to the point that it'll form pollen sacs. And then you take that pollen and you fertilize the female, and now you can only have female because the male was made from the female branch. So that's how you get feminized seeds. And that's how you get genetics like that in a seed form then, but you're still gonna have variation. The clone is the only way to get exact duplication. This is our storage room.
Smells pretty good.
Isn't that something? Let me show you some of the other varieties. So this is a garlic berry. This is the stuff that has THCV, is a cannabinoid that reduces your appetite, also helps with blood sugar metabolism, and improves memory. So that's a really cool one. Now that one we're making, we had cured resin made out of some of the dried flower, and we're going to make a tincture out of that. Here's the old Bermuda Triangle. Smell that. That is that Bermuda.
Oh, man.
And that's how.
I'm going to feel like I'm out in the piney fresh woods.
These are all packaged.
Oh, yeah.
So like each one of these is $40. Because what happens is it's a chemical process where bacteria break the chlorophyll down and then it turns the browner color.
Much like a wine ages.
Exactly.
That is so pretty. Oh, man. And like berries or dried cherries or something.
Isn't that insane? So then we can work in between those.
And you can adjust, so you, the switch to LEDs has made electricity a lot cheaper, hasn't it?
Yeah. And dehumidifiers, air conditioners.
So you got the humidity controlled, you got the airflow controlled.
Everything.
Do you have to do scrubbers?
Air scrubbers, yeah.
Yeah.
Air scrubber on the wall there.
Yeah.
The other one we put in our other drying room right now because we got a crop drying there now.
But, so how long have you been using this room?
We've done 2 grows inside here. And now this whole room, all these tables are going to be disassembled, and we're going to be building walls that'll be 8 foot high with pipes going across with all the netting hanging. And this whole room will be used for drying, as well as that whole room over there. And it's taught in permaculture, you know, you do 90% planning, 10% actual physical work. So I like drying, then we'll empty this room out, take the walls down, put all these tables back up, and get plants ready to go into flowering stage. We have another building that I'll show you, and that building will have in vegetative state through the summer, and as soon as we're done harvesting outside, we'll switch our license and flip to flowering on those. Cloning room, where we're just producing clones of certain plants, and one of these is called Ron's Cartel, which have pink flowers, which I've never seen before. Hey,
What's
Mr.
it
Zen.
called? What cartel?
Ron's Cartel.
Like cartel as in Medellin cartel?
Yeah, exactly. That's humidity. Got to keep the humidity very, exactly the right rate in here. And these are really interesting. technology. It's called autopot. It's hooked up to a reservoir, and the plant determines when it gets watered. When it becomes dry enough, there's a double valve system that they patented, whereby it creates the lack of pressure and allows water to come in, and then once it gets to a level, then it shuts off. When the plant drinks and it needs water, it opens again. There's different plants drink at different rates. This can really dial it in to where you really can give exactly.
You're trying to develop a self-watering plant?
Well, yeah, but you no matter what you still got to spend time. I mean, they're living things. You can't put a living thing out.
Are we looking a little droopy? Are we looking a little sad today?
But
or is that
still
just...
dry.
Oh,
She's
all right.
dry.
We'll perk up.
We always like to go to the dry stage and then come up, because you got a problem when you're too wet. These are all perfect because we just watered them yesterday. Nearing feet here. When I bought this property, it had one of those outdoor wood boilers that smoke all the time, and you kind of see them smothering smoke. So what I did was I got an old anhydrous ammonia tank, and I use that for my hot water tank. And I put it in here, and this is a high efficiency indoor wood boiler. So this is a wood gasification stove. So you put the wood in here, but the flame goes down and it heats up in a crucible and then goes around to a heat exchanger and out. And when the computer senses that it's at temperature and it's using all the oxygen, it turns off oxygen to the wood. So now you're just adding oxygen to the gases, and now you're burning only gases, no longer wood, which is much more efficient.
To heat the building?
It heats the whole building. This is how I heat. I don't have propane. I don't have natural gas.
You heat this all with wood through this gizmo?
Yeah. Yeah. And I got another one over at the other barn that I designed over there. So both places, I don't pay for any heat. Yeah. So that's what we do is once we dry it, then we use that.
You run it through the Terminator.
To turn it into a complete grow operation.
A complete grow operation.
Yeah. So we got an elevator to be able to get up and down because we got 3 stories. So this is an indoor grow that we did in this building, and this is in the drying phase right now.
Oh, wow. So how many plants at a time do you dry? Maybe a couple hundred?
So we could do, so like that whole room with 24 lights, we had no problem drying that all in here. In about 12 days, see how we got pipes and holes in them for direct airflow and everything?
Yep.
It's a state of the art, so everything dries evenly. We got dehumidified air conditioners, and you know, we actually even bring heat in while we're using an air conditioner, because that's part of the process of controlling the environment properly. This has been in here since last week, Friday, so this will be in here another 10 days, and then that will be taken off and put into a room. So this room we're just getting ready. The linoleum will be in next week, and then this will be
Linoleum because there's going to be moisture in here?
Yeah, so in case any spills, we can get it right up. And then we'll have our lights put in here, and then this room will be ready to go for November. A room that... So this is where we grew all that weed that's in the dining room downstairs. And this is state-of-the-art growing. Those lights, under canopy lights as well.
I don't know, you guys done a lot of marketing? You can have this one for free. I'm guilty of loving Innocence Cannabis.